everyone, we are from Group 2, representing you the topic material of subject Professional Development for English Teacher, namely Conceptualizations of Teacher Learning, Novices, and Expert. But before we start it, let me introduce the member group. The first one is JO Siringoringo, NPM 190103 0054. Secondly, Shinta Dwiana Sirait, NPM 190103 0061. And then Yohana Vatrecia Salamanang with NPM 190103 0076. And the last one is Fenni Malau with NPM 190103 0087. As you can see the diagram on your screen, we discussed the topic of conceptualizations of teacher learning that can be divided into 4 parts, namely, first, teacher learning as skill learning, then teacher education as a cognitive process, also teacher education as a personal construction, and then teacher education as a reflective practice. And we also discussed conceptualizations of novices and expert teacher.
Well, I'm JO Siringoringo, and I will going to explain to you about conceptualization of teacher learning. Teacher learning, it is an accepted fact that teachers are usually not born but made. Good teachers nurture their knowledge and skill through constant and deliberate efforts. One of the prerequisites to be a good teacher is to understand the teacher learning process in more depth. This facilitated better appreciation of the teaching profession as well as the process of imparting education.
First, teacher learning as skill learning. Teacher learning as skill learning are crucial when working as an educator. These skills are what help a teacher keep their classroom engaged and interested in learning. Knowing the most desirable teaching skills as well as how you can highlight them can help you find a teaching job that you enjoy. Teaching skills are the hard and soft skills that help a teacher keep students engaged. These skills can also help teachers position themselves as an educator, earning the attention and respect of their students. Some teaching skills come naturally to some, whereas others may require development with practice. Developing teaching skills is only one part of becoming a good teacher. The skills targeted with this approach, example, questioning, giving explanations, presenting new language, are those identified with a model of effective teaching. Teacher training involves presenting and modeling the skills and providing opportunities for teachers to master them.
Okay, thank you. And I am Vatrecia Salamanang, and I want to continue from our material. Number 2 is a teacher education as a cognitive process. This approach views teaching as complex cognitive activity and focus on the nature of teacher belief and thinking and how these influence their teaching and learning. It emphasizes that teachers are active thinking decisions makers who make instructional choice by drawing and complex, practically oriented, personalized, and context-sensitive network of knowledge, thought, and belief. In teacher education, it encourages teachers to explore their own belief and thinking process and to examine how they influence their classroom practice. Okay, process used include is self-monitoring, journal writing, and the last, analysis of critical incidents. Number 3, teacher education as a personal contraction. Learning is seen as involving recognitions and reconstruction, and it is through this process that knowledge is internalized. New learning is fitted into the learner's personal framework. Robert 1998. In teacher education, this had led to an emphasis on teacher individual and personal contributions to learning and to understanding of their classroom, and easy-use activities that focus on the development of self-awareness and personal interpretations. Through such activities as journal writing and self-monitoring. A personal contraction is a mental process in which a learner takes many separate pieces of information and uses it to build an understand or comprehension interpretation. Number 4, teacher education as reflective practice. This view of learning is based on the assumptions that teachers learn from experience through focused reflection on the nature and meaning of teacher experience. Kuhn 1983, Village 1991, Ricker and Lucker 1994. Reflection is viewed as the process of critical examinations of experiences, a process that can lead to a better understanding of one's teaching practice and roadmap. In teacher education, this had led to the notions of reflection teaching, that is, teaching accompanied by collection information on one's teaching as the basis for critical reflection, through such procedure as self-monitoring, observations, and case studies. I think that's all. Thank you.
Well, I will continue about novice and expert. The novice teacher are teachers who are in their first year teaching with little or no prior teaching experience. Beginner is needed to participate in induction programs and tutoring unless included by their school principal. Beginners meet each week with their mentors on lesson plans, management, and guidelines. They schedule teaching episodes for their mentor to observe and give confidential feedback. For the expert teacher, are very much acquainted with the concerned subject. They are more efficient in planning and more selective in informating processing than the novice teacher.
Okay, I'm Fenni Malau. Will be continue the next slide. Some of the advantage of expert teacher over novice teacher. For the first one, a richer and more elaborate knowledge base. For the second one, ability to integrate and use different kinds of knowledge. For the third, ability to make sound intuitive judgment based on past experience. For the fourth, a desire to investigate and solve a wide range of teaching problems. For the fifth, a deeper understanding of students and student learning. For the sixth, awareness of instructional objectives to support teaching. For the seventh, better understanding and use of language learning strategies. For the eighth, greater awareness of the learning context. And for the last one, greater fluidity and automatically in teaching. A novice teacher is just beginning to develop personal philosophy and implement teaching skills. An expert teacher has more experience in the classroom and should have classroom management and a variety of teaching strategies. Both teachers can learn from one another. For example, in one classroom, an English subject was held by two teachers. The two teachers each had a different way of teaching. Both teachers were experienced teachers and beginner teachers. An experienced teacher favors his students because it tends to make difficult subjects easier for the students to understand and dominate, while a beginner teacher is now explaining a material to his students. Most of his students do not understand the purpose of the material because the teaching it is easily made to a difficult one.
Now, I am Dwiana Sirait will conclusion. Teachers' ability to manage the class and deal with the students' behavior will affect the teacher's strength in dealing with classroom, particularly problem. The problem is often encountered by a new teacher. Therefore, the effort to develop the ability to be an effective teacher needs to be trained from the start. Teaching and learning such as how to better articulate content, knowledge to learners based on their different academic affiliations and characteristics. This generally requires creativity and instant decisions to change a planned teaching method based on a real new situations in class. This is done skillfully by experienced teachers. A novice teacher may not be able creatively to turn the heel of his teaching strategy to effectively run a class. These skills always come with time, and a novice teacher learns them gradually. Well, everyone, we think that's all about our presentations for this topic, and we say thank you for all your attention.